Hare Krishna. Thank you, sir, for that lecture. What is the position of Krishna on religious tolerance? Religious tolerance. Krishna is the source of all being, and how is Krishna conceived in our Krishna? Is Krishna conceived as a male or as a female, or as sexless? Then does he exist in time and in space, or is he above time and space?
Thank you very much. You have to, because when you do many, then I may forget. So, which ones was that? Position of
Religious tolerance.
Yes. So, Krishna teaches basically no one has a monopoly on God or religion. God doesn't belong to any of the religions. He's above all of them. God or Krishna is the subject. If you say that they said Copernican revolution, that before it was said that the planets were going around, but then ultimately the sun is in the middle now and everything's going around it. So Krishna, God in the middle. All religions are schools that are supposed to allow us to understand who God is, what is His will, how we connect to God. So in that vein, then tolerance is natural also because we are all brothers and sisters, all children of God. So we should understand and allow others to approach God in the particular way that they have been inspired to, and especially when they are in a recognized, bona fide religion that is not showing any harm to others. Number two was gender of God. Okay. So, first of all, we make the distinction material and spiritual. So the material is a reflection of the spiritual. If I can say do you have a 1,000 notes? Naira, yes. So if you find a fake counterfeit note, that tells you that there is an original note. So our world is a reflection of the spiritual world. The origin is there. So all this gender is from there. Technically, God is the only male. Listen to this one very carefully. The male attitude means the enjoyer, the controller. So the source of all energy is the enjoyer, or the one is known as Purusha in Sanskrit, the male. And everyone else, being an energy of God, is considered feminine. We are the energy of God to be enjoyed or to be under the control of God in relationship. So, with our naked eye, as we see Krishna, we will understand Krishna as the supreme male, and then next to him will be Radha, the supreme female. But it is definitely not the male-female of our conception. It was supreme. And then, third one?
Religious tolerance.
Space.
Yes, so God is the source of time, space, and dimension. Even when He comes into this world of 3 dimension, He's never under the control of the nature. Just like the king is above the law. He makes the law, but the law doesn't affect him. So in the same way, Krishna is transcendental, above and beyond the control of any time, space.
Thank you, sir. Hare Krishna. Now let me see your hands. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take this 1, 2, 3, 4. We are coming to your side. Sentence.
Sir, I have just 2 questions. The first one is, how can somebody become an Christian? Do they evangelize and rest? The second question is,
Okay.
Because then
doesn't forget.
how you become a Hare Krishna today, basically. So, first principle is that you have to know what Krishna consciousness is talking about. What is the philosophy? What's there to be gained? So, there's books. You can read the books and you can interact and ask questions to find out what it's about. And then if your answers are being your questions are being answered, then you want to know more. So being in touch with our brother Tribu here and our sister Tina, then from there you get to know what it is and how, where. So it starts with the relationship with someone involved.
Sorry. Thank you, sir. Now we know that you can only be born into this. You can only be born into this.
No.
You can't be converted into this. So are you telling us now that one can be converted into Buddhism?
No, this is not Hinduism. This is
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you can
yes.
be converted into Hare Krishna.
Krishna consciousness is basically, use your terms that you're saying converted, but the natural way we say is that the soul is always the servant of God. He can be reminded of his relationship with God. So that is what Krishna conscious means. You're unconscious of God and the connection of everything to God. Then you become aware of that, and then you can see God in everything. So that can happen to anyone at any time.
The next one.
the question is this. You made mention of 5 things. You talked about God, soul, material nature, time, and karma. And you said 4 of them are eternal. But you mentioned God, soul, material nature, and time. They are eternal, but karma is not eternal because they are activity. Now I want to ask this question. How is material nature that I'm seeing around eternal?
Very intelligent question, thank you. So, material nature, we call it material nature, but it is the energy of God. Remember, God is eternal. So his energy is also eternal. But that energy can manifest eternal things or temporary things. Just like electricity is one energy, but it can cool through the aircon and it can also heat through the heater. So God can use his own eternal energy to do different things. So in creating our body and the things we see, he has manifested it within his own energy called time. So it lasts for some period. But then that energy, as we know, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So it's eternal.
Okay, my question is, for you to convert, did you have a religious experience with Hare Krishna that made you convert? And second question is, your mode of dressing, is there like, what's the significance? What does these markings and everything mean?
Thank you. I was raised in a Catholic family. When I was in high school, we went to the Lutheran church, and then I was with the Rastas, and my first teacher is Bob Marley. And through getting knowledge like that, I began to question my world around me and to see everyone doesn't seem to be so happy. What wisdom is there that can allow me to be happy? So, because I feel my pain myself, even though I'm born into a country, a family, a religion. So that inquisitive nature led me to different books, different philosophies. Then I met the Hare Krishnas. The questions I asked them, they were able to answer them, and they could fit in all the other schools of knowledge that I'd already encountered. So for me, it just felt like naturally from high school you go to university. So I didn't feel like it was a conversion. I just felt it was the next logical step. If I'm actually sincere about understanding the absolute truth and wanting to live in relation to that. Second, the dress, monks, or you could say priests, especially those who are living a celibate life, they wear these orange colors. That means we are retired, we are only using body, mind, and soul to focus on God, and then we're embracing the entire family of souls as our family. And the mark on the forehead is called tilak. In Sanskrit, it's also called Uddhva Pundra. I'll write the tilak quickly. Tilaka. But the A at the end is silent, so it's like tilak. So it is a type of clay which, in all cultures there's some holy rivers. So we get some clay from the holy river Ganges. So you put a bit of water here, make a paste after you take a shower, and then we put it in 13 places on the body while chanting different names of God. 13, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's clay, it's just that now when you see someone with it, like if you see a soldier in uniform, then you understand there's someone from the army. So someone dressed like this means they can answer your questions in relation to spiritual knowledge.
Yes, quickly.
Hare Krishna. Right, my question, according to your religion now and your background as a Christian, how do you see Christianity based on your religion? And how do you see, what is your knowledge about eternity? Do you believe in eternity at all?
Thank you very much for that question. I see, and I would say I'm also speaking it as an individual and also within the Hare Krishna movement. First, Christianity is our great ally and friend. We are basically in the same mission. God, being the Supreme Father of everyone, has one mission. His children, you and I, have rebelled and trying to be God. We are in this temporary world. We are trying to be the center of attention. We want to be the controllers, the enjoyers. Because of envy of God being the center of everything, the enjoyer and control of everything. So He wants to get us out of this place where we will not get what we're looking for. Unconditional love. We will not get it here. We don't want to die. There's death here. Disease is here. So He wants us to get back home. So Christianity is also that religion which is saying, don't work hard for the bread that spoils, but work for that which the Son of Man has come to give. This is not our home. Our home is with the Lord. So those religions that are trying to help us, wake up, sleeping soul. Find your Father and go home. So we see it as a great ally and friend. And the last part was? What is your belief in eternity? Oh, eternity. Yeah, eternity is our birthright. We are being robbed now of eternity because we've taken on a body which has beginning and end. So the children of eternity should rise from the darkness of conditioned temporary life and let us connect to the source of eternity, that is the Supreme Person. By becoming devoted to God, then we acquire again our spiritual qualities. And then we are no longer affected by time. See, if you love God with all your heart and soul and mind, it doesn't matter even whether you're in this world or the other world, because your vision is always permeated by this beautiful, enchanting, and loving person. So eternity is the kingdom of God. This world is a temporary place, but we are from that eternal place, and we want to connect and go back.
My question is this: I want to know about your doctrines. Do you have doctrines? Your religion, do you have doctrines? And mode of worship.
So we got a little glimpse into doctrine, and I don't know, people always like doctrines. It's like you don't want to do really these things, but that's the first thing people want to know. What do you not do? What are your beliefs? As if I'm going to take this belief, please give me. No. Beliefs or rules and regulations are important. Why? Because we are rebellious by nature. Our mind is not really under our control. If they don't give you a timetable, be in this class at 2 to 4, you will be wherever right now. So there's always rules. You drive on the left, you stop here. All these rules are to control our wayward minds. So there's nothing different in religion or spirituality. But now you want something so precious as eternity. How much more attention do you have to pay to make sure that you get this eternal thing? Even in mathematics, if you're solving a complex equation, if you're wrong at the first or second line of that thing, no matter how long you solve it, it's always wrong. So here, in Krishna consciousness, there are things that hold us down in material consciousness. That make us think I am this body and forget I'm the spirit. Illicit sex means the highest pleasure this body can give is sex. And so, when we indulge in sex outside of holy sex, which is allowed in marriage, it is taking us down spiritually. Intoxication means happiness is natural, we want it at the level of the soul. But now we're trying to take a quick route through alcohol and drugs. So you find that still you will see that God is never divorced from us. Someday, I don't know if it happens in Nigeria, but in South Africa it happens. At the places of alcohol, they sometimes play lots of gospel music. And you find people really, again the soul is yearning for God, even though it ran away for a different type of pleasure. In sex, people are always screaming, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, in sex. What? Because the pleasure principle actually is in God. But now you are being tricked to just scratch the itch with this body. And how long is that pleasure lasting? Once it's done, in 2 minutes, sometimes it's done, especially for men. For men, once the itch is finished, it's over. So, illicit sex binds you to the body. Intoxication, meat, eating the flesh of other living beings takes away compassion from the heart. You see an ant moving here. Who was ever attacked by an ant? But they like that, bang! So this what I mean is that we become envious of someone else's living. He doesn't know this is your house. So the principle of it is this: the soul is pure. We are pure, all of us. So in religion, we should be looking for more and more purity. If you want to be closer to the supremely pure, you have to become purer yourself. If you put an iron in fire, it's first cold and metal. After some time it warms up, until it is red hot, it burns like fire. So that is what is happening. So these doctrines where we are taking away things that hold us down is just to give us a better chance. Basically, illicit sex, when you stop it, you are freed from internal cleanliness problems. It corrupts inside. Intoxication takes away the ability to take difficulties on behalf of making spiritual advancement. Gambling takes away truthfulness in a person. And
eating
meat and flesh, that basically takes away compassion from the heart. So these are not even spiritual things. It's just like saying to get to university, you have to pass the last class of high school. Because without getting more purity, forget spiritual dimension. So it's similar in most cultures. Also, these things are regulated. Sex is regulated everywhere. Gambling is regulated everywhere. You can't kill this animal, you can't kill that. Everywhere they're trying to. Alcohol, you need license. All these things, it means they corrupt the pure intentions of the soul. And the most important doctrine is that always remember God, never forget Him. How? The easiest way in this age is that the name of God, it is not different from God Himself. Therefore, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. From the morning to the setting of the sun, the name of the Lord should be called. The name of the Lord is like a strong tower, take shelter of it. Of all beautiful names, I love names that are beautiful. Recite them. So, in this Hare Krishna movement, you've heard that song we sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like that. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's a simple principle like that. The name of God is the same as God, and by hearing the name of God, our hearts become purified because His goodness, His purity, His knowledge, His wisdom, His compassion rubs off on us.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we want prof, sir. Any, so that we don't, we have, shall we put our hands together?
Thank you very much. I think I should just extensively confine myself to commending the department for continuing this tradition. It's a Department of Religious Studies, and we welcome all religious movements, and we want to know about those religions from the practitioners. So I want to welcome you once again. This particular course is World Religions, and we are convinced that to be scholars of religious studies, we need to interact in a way, in an objective way, not a biased way, for us to get the facts about those religious movements. When we started this about 3 years ago, we invited a resource person who is versatile in Chinese religion. Now we are in India today, and maybe we may go to the Arab world. And we have an invitation at the Temeta here, where Ifa is practiced as a religion. Maybe one of these days we'd like to visit your temple. You have come. Your temple in Nigeria, and I'm aware there are pilgrimages in India. Maybe there will be opportunity for us to witness your pilgrimage in India. What that means is that as students of religious studies, we are international students. And if the resources and opportunities are there, we like to move around the world to see the way these religions are practiced. I want to wish you the best of success in this course and in your program. And I also want to wish our resource persons today continuous protection of God. One thing I've learned so far is that when you study different religions, you discover that we have a lot of shared values. Many of those religions, I've not seen any religion that preaches evil or wickedness or anything that is bad. We like beauty, we like purity, we like honesty, and when you study religions, you discover that these religions are looking at these issues from various perspectives. And I want to tell you that in Islam, one sect that is a bit closer to, yes, Sufism. They believe in pantheism. They believe that you can see God in everything. And we don't begrudge them. We still have the same source, the Quran and the Hadith. So I have been enriched by your presentations, and I have a lot to take away. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's the father of the department. God bless you, sir. Allahu Akbar. Yes, let's look at this side. Sorry, we are rounding up at 4. Okay. This is almost 4. So, yes, sorry, you will round off, sir. 1, 2, 3, you come out. The 3 of you come out. So, you stand there. A minute, a sentence.
Hare Krishna. Okay, sir. While you were administering or talking to us, I found it a bit of a trouble. So, you were trying to say that God is one and God is universal. That means Allah, Jehovah, they're all Hare Krishna in the type of way, right? But I feel like Hare Krishna is a little bit contradictory in all these beings, because when these beings manifest, interact with human beings, they set in their laws and they debunk other religions that this same God, which is still the same Hare Krishna, encourages their adherents to follow. For instance, Jesus said he's the way, the truth, and the life. And Muhammad has let us know that no one else, there's no other God except Allah himself is God. And the Jews also say that we need to follow the laws of Moses, and that's the only way to God. So is Hare Krishna, or is God a little bit self-contradictory?
Thank you for the question. I'm always waiting for that one. So, the unfortunate situation is that the ones that are divided and conquered is ourselves in this world. So it's almost like, yeah, we all appreciate cold drink, soft drink, but you will never hear Coca-Cola saying that Pepsi is also very nice. Or each brand likes to say the #1 soap in Nigeria, the #1 camera, the #1 this and the other. So what is happening is that different revelations, according to time, place, and circumstance, God himself, or his servants, or angels, or empowered persons come to teach us that this is not our home, let's go back to God. So each teacher who is standing before the students tells them that you listen to me because I have got the revelation, and you follow like this, you will get the result. But those who come to follow, they become very fanatic, it's like my father is better than your father, it's a very mundane thing. The more someone becomes purified, who understands the Father, he can understand that everyone is a child of God. And the criteria, the way, is love of God. So if you are developing love for God in whatever path, by all means, stay on that path, follow it. But then if from that path, you learn to hate your neighbor and want to forcefully change their minds, not understanding that they are all inspired also by God in the heart. That's when humanity becomes a bad representative of God in these different relations. Otherwise, God is always one. He can never be two.
Thank you. I have 3 questions. Okay, but I love your dressing. So, what inspired this dressing? Like the hair, the way you dress, the beads, and everything. Then the second question is that we know that Hinduism is aristocratic. Everybody has this caste system of a thing. So, what is apart from the caste system? What are the other different practices in Hare Krishna and Hinduism? Since it's under Hinduism or it's from Hinduism, then the third question is that we have girls in Hare Krishna, 3 million girls. Those girls, are they also like similar to the girls in the African traditional religion? Then we have the Eshu, I think African religion, we all have girls like Eshu, Obatala, and like, are they, like, the concept of those gods, are they in human form or they are spiritual? Whereby we don't think of it that this is a god, or we don't think that this is an image and we should worship it as a god which can lead us to Hare Krishna.
Did we hear the questions or we become distracted by the books? It's a good distraction, okay. I'll start. The different gods, are they like, do they have a form? Are they like humans or is it just a spirit? So, form, like we have a form. There are different types of forms. Our human form is mainly made of water and earth. Yes? That's the main feature. Other forms are made more with air, others more ether, others more fire. Just like in the sun, there are living beings there, but their bodies are mainly the fire element. Like we can't live in the ocean, but the fish can. We live on land. We can't live in the air, but the birds can. So different forms have different potencies. So different gods are just different dimensional beings. They are also persons, soul with a particular body. But then their bodies, just like the president and yourself, are both human beings. But the president has more power over things than an ordinary citizen. So God just means other beings which have more power over certain fields.
How do they get the power?
Huh?
How do they get the power?
Yeah, the power, like I said, is that God, if God is the president, He gives power to the different departments, agriculture, finance, military. That power comes from God. So everyone's power comes from God. That's why even now we have the power of sight. But if God withdraws that power of sight, then you are blind, you can't see. Yeah. I think it was one. Oh, the dressing is, it promotes simple living, higher thinking. Means if I have 5 pairs of just these robes and shirts, I don't have to break my head what to wear tomorrow. I've got a clean one, I put that on. I also don't have to break your pockets trying to get your money to buy these clothes. And when I wear these clothes, they put me in the mood that I'm here trying to be a servant of God and humanity. So they influence you in consciousness, they keep you simple and humble. The hair, this at the back, you know, the government buildings, they have a flag that flies there. Means so this is like a flag. The body is the temple of God, and this is the flag saying the soul within this body is a servant of God, is using this body as a temple.
Question. So does the theory of karma and reincarnation apply in the religions since eternity is said to be their birthright?
does the law of karma apply in this religion, since we said eternity is our birthright? Beautiful question. Yes, reincarnation just means that you didn't pass your second year or third year, and you are given a chance to do it again. Like, we don't want to go back home, back to God. We still want to make it in Africa or in some other mature planet. So God doesn't force us to go back home. Yeah, so reincarnation is meant to be stopped. We don't want to keep chewing that which has been chewed again and again. The question would be this: if I ask you now, if you were asked to repeat your life, start again from 1 year old, who would be willing to do it?
You want to start all over?
So there's a few people, very few, who are willing even to do this life. And you already know this life. So what to speak of, you do your whole life until you die, and then you don't know what's your next birth, and you have to do again life. So reincarnation should be stopped. How do we stop it? By having desires to go back to God. We get to know Him, love Him, then we want to go there. When we leave this body, we go home. Second last one.
Does the feeding, i.e. being a vegetarian, affect their spirituality or improve their spirituality?
Yes, they say you are what you eat. You are what you eat. So every food affects us differently. So we follow the vegetarian lifestyle because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, if you offer these things, fruits, water, leaves, flower, with love, I accept them. So it is to exercise compassion. If all are children of God, and if I can live without inflicting so much pain and suffering, then as the custodian, the elder brother or sister, I do that. See, the animals are like the handicapped child in your home. You don't just kill him off because he is handicapped and slow. You give them more protection. So human being can eat all these, but they affect him. But when the diet becomes more vegetable, less blood and flesh, it helps the human being to be more compassionate, to assimilate knowledge better. So it's a suggestion. When you try it, you will know the impact it has on your consciousness.